Hey everyone, I have not made a video in a while. I tend not to make them all that often. Sometimes I make a whole bunch in a row and then I just don't feel like doing it for a while. I haven't felt like even writing in my blog either. Just want to give you all an update and I felt like talking about a few things. My mom's surgery did happen. She had the liver surgery on on March 3rd, and it was supposed to be on February 11th, but if you watched my last video, I had talked about how it was canceled. It was supposed to be, I think, February 11th. And so her clotting factor was too low with her vitamin K. And so they postponed it to March 3rd. She had that surgery, and when they went in to do it, they thought it was only a small amount of cancer, but there was actually a giant tumor behind her liver. So they ended up taking more of her liver than they anticipated. And they took out her gallbladder because where the cancer was located was actually pushing on the gallbladder, so just to be safe, they removed that as well. She was in the hospital, I think, maybe 5 or 6 days, and then she came home. She's had some physical therapy, and she was really sore for a while, which is understandable, and then so far now they don't see any cancer. So they took care of the colon cancer before, I think it was like almost 2 years ago now, and then they took care of the liver cancer, and then she has like a PET scan and a CT scan, I believe in June. I'm not really sure, but she'll have that. And then I wanted to talk also about my friend Yvonne. And I don't ever use anyone's names. Like when you contact me, I don't ever talk about you, but this is now public, record. She was someone that I was very much in close contact with when I was going through benzo withdrawal. I met her through Rosie O'Donnell's blog because Rosie O'Donnell had posted my video, and I had my email address in it, and so she contacted me, and she was just a really supportive person. And then later that year, she was diagnosed with uterine cancer, and so she went on a whole thing with that, and she died this past April. And so she was just a very, very nice woman, very spiritual. She was only 53 years old when she died, and she sent me all these books. She used to make these crafts like bookmarks and keychains, stuff like that. She'd mail them to me, and we talked on the phone, and we emailed more often than we talked on the phone. And just, I can't describe to you, just one of those people that are just filled with light and just really supportive. And when she got sick, I never complained about myself to her. Rarely would I. I more just want to be someone that she could vent to and talk to about things that she thought about was, experiencing her fears, her concerns, her hopes, and everything. And so being a very spiritual person that she was, like she had told me one time, I'm going to give you a sign. If there's anything after, I'll try to give you a sign, if I do die, but it's not going to happen. I'm not going to die. And like, she always would say that. And before I even get to the sign thing, the only sad thing, I am sad about it, but I just, it's not like a deep sadness. It's more of when I found out, like that surge that goes through you, and there was like an underlying sadness about it, but I knew that she got very, very ill towards the end, and so she spent her remaining couple weeks alive in the hospital in California, and so I knew that things weren't, going that great. But back to the sign thing, is she had died on April 20th. And I didn't find out until recently because, I kind of contacted her son a few times, but he had let me know that she was back in the hospital because she had stopped emailing because she, wasn't well. And so then all of a sudden he kind of was just silent. And so what I was doing is every once in a while I was checking the obituaries in California just to see, if it was there or if anything had happened. So I was checking about once a week. And so I checked. Now, she had died on April 20th, and they published the obituary on April 29th. Now, the only reason why it's just no proof whatsoever, but just amusing to me, is that's my birthday. So 9 days later, an obituary is published. Usually people do it quicker. I don't know if they had services or anything for her because some people don't. And I don't know if that was something, she was into or not. So, but yeah. So what I did is, how, well, maybe some of you don't, but when you die, they put an obituary online now, and then there's like a guest book that people can sign to say, sorry for your loss and all that stuff. The guest book is only on for like a month. and then you can, like, pay money to keep it on. So I had noticed it was going to expire at the end of the month, and she spent so much money sending me books and, sending me, crystals and necklaces, stuff that she made, and just the bookmarks, like I said, that I was like, you know what, I'm going to, keep this on here. So my original plan was to pay the $29, which gives it a year. But then I thought, well, what if I forget after the year to renew this? And the lifetime membership was $79. And at first I was like, I don't know if I can do that. But then before I went to bed yesterday, I was like, you know what? No, I can do that. It's not, in the whole scheme of my life, it's not a big deal. So I paid the $79 so her guest book and her obituary can stay up on, the legacy site, forever, or until the site, goes down. So it's the least I could do for her, for everything that, she's done for me. And hopefully, I did email her son and just said, I'm sorry for the loss of your mother. If you ever need to vent, you can contact me. I don't think he will. We're not, like, close or anything. I just wanted to let him know that I was sorry, for his loss. And so that's it pretty much with that. My health is pretty much the same. There's nothing really to update. Still, the heart's going crazy. Oh, there is one good thing. I didn't even think about this before I made the video. I had done a video with an AC1 test where I showed that my AC1 was high. And in the meantime, I haven't really changed my diet. I'm certainly not exercising anymore. The only thing I changed was I was taking the vitamin C, which I had mentioned, and the lysine, which I had mentioned, and I also added vitamin D, and I've been taking that along with a multivitamin throughout the day, not all at once. And my AC1 test, I waited a couple months, redid it, and I'm back in normal numbers. It's not even pre-diabetic anymore, it's just normal. Now, it's the high end of normal still. I'm almost into the pre-diabetic range, but it took me right down from like 5.9 to, I can't remember the numbers right now, but I think I was at 5.9, and now I'm like 5.3, which it could definitely be lower, but that's good. So like later this summer or next fall, I'll check again and just see where it's at, and hopefully by then I'll be like eating better and doing more things for myself that I should be doing anyway. Interesting that vitamin D is being linked to a whole bunch of stuff, and being that I don't really drink milk because it bothers me and I don't go outside a lot, I'm probably not getting enough vitamin D. Speaking of which, the sun's coming through as if you hadn't already noticed, and so it's distorting everything, so sorry about that, but that's just that time of day. Crazy people, let's talk about those. I am on Facebook, and I'll post my link below because I like when people add me, but I'm not someone who, I have very unique views. I look at very strange things, and whether I agree with it or not, if I find it interesting, I'll post it. And I'm not very trusting of the government. I'm not very trusting of anything, especially the medical community now. You guys know what happened with me, so I don't just take everything at face value. So I post stuff on Facebook, and it just, this past week has gotten completely out of hand. Like, people are sending hate mail on there. People are like, we're posting horrible, horrible, comments. And I'm just like, people post stuff on Facebook all the time, and Facebook is not serious. It's just a social network. But people post stuff that I don't agree with. I just don't comment. I don't care. Whatever you post. I don't care if you believe the aliens are taking you every single night. I just don't care. So I just turned off the comments. Finally, I was like, forget it. I'm not dealing with this anymore. And then when I did that, like, people kept emailing, and so finally I'm like, you know what, don't email me about this. If you don't like what I'm posting, delete me. Block my post, do something. So I do want you to add me. I just don't want you to freak out when I post something that's going to upset you, and more than likely I'm going to. I'm not Republican or Democrat, so I'll attack both sides if I find something interesting when it comes to politics. I do different things than most people. I just, I'll speak out against certain medications. I'll speak out about things, as you guys know, and so that's just me. And if you want to be on my Facebook, fine, but don't get mad about what I think, because I'm not mad about what you think. I don't care if you agree with me or disagree with me. I have my own reasons for believing things, and I'm sure that you do too. So with that, but then I'll tell you this one guy, I don't know, he probably still watches my videos. He's like freaking out, like, it's just like, well, why aren't you making any more videos? It's been a while. And I was like, oh, well, I just make them when I can. I just, sometimes there's nothing I want to say, or maybe I just don't want to say anything. And he's just like, well, sometimes, you make a lot and then you just leave all your fans hanging. And I was just like, well, it's not like really my intention. I said, but you're pretty much all caught up, because he's on my Facebook. I was like, there's nothing really new going on. He like writes back. He's just like, well, I don't care if you make any videos anymore anyway. It's not like I'm effing losing sleep over it. And then he kind of like said a few other choice words, and I just ignored it. I didn't even respond to the email. It's just like, okay. Usually I delete someone, but I just let it slide. And then like recently this week, he was one of the people. I posted something, and he like I won't even get into it, but like he kind of like asked something that kind of painted it as if I was on the side of terrorists or something, which I was just like, all right, I'm kind of done with you. So I just unfriended him, and then like he like wrote me this email. He's like, oh, you can shove your panic attacks up your ass and all this stuff. I'm just like, whatever. And it's gotten to the point where I am allowing comments still on YouTube, but I may not eventually, because even though you guys aren't seeing the negative ones, I am. I'm disapproving them because I control that whole thing. I post the positive ones because that's what people need to see, or people who have legitimate questions, and just ignore the other people, and there's no need for it. But I mean, I've considered that, but right now Facebook comments are off. Will it be off forever? I don't know, but right now it is, and it's so much more peaceful. I can post something, I don't have to worry about a backlash. And seriously, if people keep emailing me about stupid stuff and complaining about what I'm posting, I'm just going to delete them. I mean, whatever. It's like I said, it's ridiculous. Okay, next topic that I want to get onto is, which is not usually what I talk about, but nickels. Like the coin nickels. They are worth more than their actual face value right now. And if any of you are familiar with coins, you know that silver dimes and silver quarters that were in existence before, now they're not made of silver anymore, are worth way more than what they were before. And I think actually quarters right now, silver quarters are selling for maybe $3.50, somewhere around there. So a lot of people that started hoarding them back in the day pretty much made bank on the silver thing. Well, now copper's been going up, and so is nickel. And nickels are made of, like, I think 75% copper and 25% nickel. So there's a hoarding process starting, and I've kind of gotten in on it. Now, the easiest way to do this is to get $100 and go to your bank and ask them for a box of nickels. That way you don't have to like roll nickels up or sort them. So you can just store them somewhere in your closet at your family's house or wherever you want to, put your nickels. And right now, like I would say, like, a nickel is obviously worth 5 cents. The actual value of the metal in it ranges between like 0.69 cents, and it's been as high as I think 8 cents. And it's going to continue to go up, especially with the dollar falling. That's something you're going to want to look into. The American dollar has been actually dropping quite a bit. We might lose our reserve currency status, which if we did, that's going to be disastrous. But that's for maybe another video or another type of, I don't know, type of topic, I guess. But just for fun, you can save all your nickels just so you can change all the time. Like, you don't need to spend them. So as a kind of a joke, but I've been posting on Facebook, which I have more than this, but this is just my loose nickels. Just make a jar of nickels and just throw them in there and just save them. Now also the pennies, now they're made from zinc. All the current ones are made from zinc. So if you want to save the copper ones, because those are worth almost 3 cents, even though it's only a penny, and what you want to do is 1982 downward is copper. Now, not all 1982 is made of copper. Half the year was copper, half the year was zinc. So to be completely safe and make sure it's copper, just 1981 and down is the copper pennies, and so you can save those too, as I do. And then I got bored because I'm inside all the time, so I started planting things. And on my latest experiment, you can't see it's behind me, but my roommate, he drinks a lot of coffee, so I've been saving his like plastic coffee containers. And so I planted watermelons because I did see that some people have been able to pull this off inside. And so right now it's like day 18. If you go and sign onto my Facebook and friend me, you can see these updates that I posted. And so I don't know if they'll live or die, but so far it's been 18 days, and like they're like maybe this tall now. And then also I ended up I did this as a child, I went to Insect Lore a lot. So I went back to that site and I ordered some painted lady butterfly caterpillars. And I have pictures of that on Facebook as well. And right now they're just growing, and then I will show you when they hatch and everything. Got a fish tank. And I have yet to be able to feel well enough to actually go to a store to get fish. But I actually might get frogs. I'm not sure. Thinking about getting 2 frogs and some snails. But I go back and forth on that. If I don't get the frogs, I'm going to get the snails, maybe some guppies. I'll take video of that, and that'll be on Facebook. And I'm trying to think. Oh, I ordered sea monkeys. I don't know if you guys know what those are, but if you don't, just look them up. Got a few of those coming. stuff like that. And then other than that, I can't really think of anything else. I will try to make more videos more recently. I know I kind of just went a little bit longer than normal. I don't think I've made one since February. But yeah, I mean, I have a lot more to say, but the video's getting long, so I probably will make one, in a week or so, hopefully. Maybe sooner. I don't know. But anyway, so that's it for now, and I will talk to you all later, and I'm on Facebook. Oh, the coin thing that I mentioned. I'm going to put a link down below this video on YouTube, and if the link is coinflation.com, but I'll put my blog link, but I'll put my Facebook link. I'm on Twitter too, but I only give updates when I do a new video. So I will give that link too, but I'm more active on Facebook, and I'm on there quite a bit, so, and everything. But anyway, okay, that's it for today. Talk to you later. For liver than they anticipated, and they took out her gallbladder because where the cancer was located was actually pushing on the gallbladder, so just to be safe, they removed that as well. She was in the hospital, I think, maybe 5 or 6 days, and then she came home. She's had some physical therapy, and she was really sore for a while, which is understandable. And then so far now they don't see any cancer. So they took care of the colon cancer before, I think it was like almost 2 Rosie O'Donnell's blog, because Rosie O'Donnell had posted my video, and I had my email address in it. And so she contacted me, and she was just a really supportive person. And then later that year, she was diagnosed with uterine cancer. And so she went on a whole thing with that, and she died this past April. And so she was just a very, very nice woman, very years ago now, and then they took care of the liver cancer, and then she has like a PET scan and a CT scan, I believe in June. I'm not really sure, but she'll have that. And then I wanted to talk also about my friend Yvonne. And I don't ever use anyone's names. Like when you contact me, I don't ever talk about you, but this is now public, record. She was someone that I was very much in close contact with when I was going through benzo withdrawal. I met her through Rose. It was supposed to be on February 11th, but if you watched my last video, I had talked about how it was canceled. It was supposed to be, I think, February 11th. And so her clotting factor was too low with her vitamin K, and so they postponed it to March 3rd. She had that surgery, and when they went in to do it, they thought it was only a small amount of cancer, but there was actually a giant tumor behind her liver, so they ended up taking more of her. Hey everyone, I have not made a video in a while. I tend not to make them all that often. Sometimes I make a whole bunch in a row, and then I just don't feel like doing it for a while. I haven't felt like even writing in my blog either. Just want to give you all an update, and I felt like talking about a few things. My mom's surgery did happen. She had the liver surgery on March 3rd, and it was